I'm really loving this community though. Like it's, every year it's always great. People are always nice to each other, and the friendships are made, and growth happens. But this year it's just been accelerated. All the aspects: growth, people, relationships, all of it's just fantastic. And like Dr. Pillay, I don't know how this guy. I don't know how we crossed paths. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know.
How we got so
But
lucky, right, with Dr. Pele?
yeah, it's weird. I feel like does anyone feel this way? Like, it's unbelievable because like understanding analytics and being more organized and strategic, like these are the things I live for. And like this guy lives for this, but he likes to build things to support that. So like the things that I'm living for, he's building technology to actually support it. So, and we are like the first batch. We're the first batch of peeps. So we're getting the benefit of a lot. So Dr. Belay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, man. Thank you
Thank
for
you, man. I
yeah,
appreciate
man.
that introduction very much. Thank you.
I'm gonna turn my mic off and hand off to you, man. You run from here, then yeah, everybody, take your notes.
Did you want me to go ahead, or did Steve and Junaid have an agenda first? I'm not sure.
No, there's
No,
no agenda today. Um,
Okay.
remember
you are the one.
You're the
So
keynote speaker, right?
the
Okay.
keynote.
from
Awesome.
that standpoint, and you should have the ability to record. I'm
Okay.
recording here, but I think I activated you already.
You
Awesome.
can
And do I
record
have
on.
the ability to share my screen as well?
I might have to make you host, or do I have to?
Okay.
Let me look at the
Just
more
choose
options.
just choose allow
There's
multiple.
Yeah, allow multiple is usually
security and
possible.
share.
Allow multiple pin.
No, no, yeah, it's on the share screen thing. It should say multiple people can share.
Or he might have to go to security first
Okay,
and then
there it
enable
is. All
sharing.
right, got it. All right.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's first of all, everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to come have this conversation. The reason we're all here boils down to really one sentence, and that is getting high value clients from LinkedIn. Period. I mean, we're not here to post just because it's fun to post. Let's be honest. We're not here just because we love sharing. Rob and I are musicians. We're not just doing this because we couldn't get a seat at the Grammys. Okay, we're doing this because content has a purpose, and that purpose is to build business relationships, build brand trust, and do all kinds of things. So what I wanted to do today was take Rob, because he's been a power user. He's done a lot of stuff. Take myself, take these two accounts inside of Velocity Jam, and use that to show you how we take content and turn it into clients. That's the big gap. A lot of people don't know, how do I go from content to clients? It's like, okay, I know I can post stuff, but how do I make some money out of this thing? Right? And so that is really what we're going to talk about today. Now, to kick this off, I want to show you a diagram that really covers, I think, the reason why content is so important, and then we'll go into how do we make this possible. In my book, the book that I've been writing and talking about so far, also on our website, is something we call the 3 R's. So far, we've just listed them. Relationships. You got to build relationships. Reach. You got to get your content going further out into the world, right? And of course, results. You got to get results out of it, and you got to be able to analyze your results to see how you're doing, so you can do better or pivot or whatever, right? So those are the 3 R's. But I want to show you the 3 R's in a quadrant. I call this the content quadrant, and I think it's going to help kind of clarify some reasons why content marketing is so important. So if you think of relationships as cold versus warm, can everybody see this diagram by the way?
Yep.
Okay. If you think of relationships as cold versus warm, warm being at the top, cold being at the bottom, our goal with content, our goal with everything we do in business development is to reach warm relationships. Would everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Awesome. Good. And if I can't see you, if there's a way I can see you so that I can see your head bobbing, I saw Steve's and John Foster's. There you go. That way I know that yeah, awesome. Awesome. Now, the next thing we need to worry about is how far can our content reach? Because look, if every time I put out my information, Steve, John, and Janaid say, "That's cool, Dr. Pillay," that's only going to get me so far, right? I got to have some reach. Now, the thing about social media is that all of these platforms have built software algorithms that will obey a rule. I call it the radio station rule. If a lot of people seem to show up on something at a certain period of time, all of a sudden it has more power. Just like if I put my song on the radio, all of a sudden all of you think it's a great song. But the truth is, there are hundreds or maybe thousands of people that are as good as musicians or better musicians than I am. They just didn't get on the radio. So reach is all about the algorithm looking at your content within a couple of hours. If a lot of people, meaning Steve, me, Janaid, Pix, if all of us seem to just show up on that content within 2 hours, 15 people minimum, the algorithm will take it and push it much further. Now, this is a published algorithm. I didn't make this up. And the software that we've developed, Velocity Jam, follows that algorithm. Like we've modeled the behavior that is respected, or sorry, that is shown by that algorithm. We've respected it in order to build out the reach component. So what you want for reach is to go from one person seeing you, to one to many. That's reach. Now, let's think of all the strategies that you and I might use to build our businesses. All of us are either consultants, thought leaders, coaches, entrepreneurs. Let's think of what we normally would do. Normally, we would do advertising, for example. What is advertising? It's a one-to-many strategy. It has a lot of reach. I mean, you pay thousands of dollars to YouTube and to Facebook, and I guarantee you, lots of people are going to see your stuff. The only problem is the relationship with those people is like at zero. It's cold. They don't trust you. They don't like you. They barely know you. And now you got to start building that relationship up. So advertising is okay, but it has its problems. And the other thing with advertising is that the minute you stop spending that money, it's gone. Like if you stop paying for advertising, then you get nothing, and that's the end. It's just not a long-term investment. It's very short-term, and it focuses on only the 3% who are ready to buy right now. That's the number of people in any sales situation that are looking to buy something. It's 3%. So advertising is actually a wasted strategy if you're thinking about the long term. You got to have a long-term strategy. Now let's take a look at another strategy that most of us might use if we want to improve relationships. That is referrals. You want to be able to make sure your customers, your friends, your partners will refer you business. And the funny thing about referrals is by far it is the warmest relationship strategy on the planet. Because you know what? If I say to someone, "Hey, you guys need to go work with Janaid, because that brother is the bomb. You should see his background on his video. You're going to just fall over and die after you see it." Everybody's going to sign up and they're just going to give Janaid money, okay? But the problem with referrals is that it's a one-to-one strategy. It has no reach. You can't predict how many times I'm going to refer Janaid, maybe once a year, okay? And you can't scale that. And so unfortunately, while referrals are great for warmth of relationship, they're terrible for reach. Now here's another one, networking. Many of us go to these networking meetings either by Zoom or we go in person back before COVID. And that's the worst type of meeting on the planet. Why? Because it's low on reach, right? You're meeting everybody one-on-one, and it's low on relationships. It's terrible. You know, it's like everybody's trying to sell everybody something. It's terrible. You can't do anything. So what I've found, and this is a universal thing that nobody should disagree with, is that content marketing is right in the sweet spot of the results quadrant. Why? Because just think about it. You create content, you put it out on social media, you get reach, whoosh, just like advertising, right? You get all kinds of reach if you build out your audience correctly using tools like what we've been doing and also like what we're going to talk about in Velocity Jam. Another thing is content is a warmer relationship by far than advertising, okay? I mean, just think about it. when people get to know you on video, they get to know what you say, what you stand for. By the time you end up in that meeting with them, it's almost like, dude, we're like old buddies. I know you guys, right? That's the power of content. Look, many of my customers come to me without me selling a thing. I don't sell. They show up because they say, oh, Dr. Pillay, I saw your content, the one you did about this topic or that topic, and it got me thinking, and can we talk? And boom, we talk. And guess what that conversation is? It's a sales conversation. So I want you to know that content marketing, I'm not making this up. It is truly, truly what I call the results quadrant. But there's a problem. Okay, I've brought out a problem for every one of these. Here's the problem of content marketing. Taking the results, okay, that you see from content marketing and making it useful for you in improving your bottom line results. Most people don't know how to connect the dots. So you see that you're doing good in content marketing. So you have a lot of followers. So what, right? How do you make more money because of it? And that's what I'm going to show you right now. So before I jump into that, is there any question about sort of the overview that I've shared? Any thoughts about it? Any disagreements about it? Let's have an open dialogue about this. Anyone?
Yeah, I find it interesting that you say that networking delivers cold connections, because the networking I do is all about warm connections. So I get it that if it's a network where it's only pushing business cards, but then I'm out. So that's not my type of networking. But other than that,
yes, that's the one I'm talking about. These networking meetings where people show up, and as you say, they have business cards. You meet one-on-one. Everybody's having a drink. With COVID, there's less of that. But yes, the relationships usually start out cold because you don't know those people. You've never met them before, and then you can warm up the relationship in that meeting. But you know what? They want to talk to about 5 other people, not just you. So it can be an interesting little game that people play. I'm not saying that advertising is bad or networking is bad or even referrals are bad. I'm just showing their limitations. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other thoughts? Thank you so much for that question, Yvonne. That was awesome.
The one thing that I've seen a lot of people, and one of the reasons why Facebook says, hey, do you want to boost this post, right? Anytime you're putting a content piece out, because they know when you create a content piece for your audience, if you boost it, you might get more eyeballs. Now, it serves a similar purpose. It's like a cross between content and advertising. And so it kind of makes sense, right? But again, even with advertising, when you're spending money, if you have multiple pieces of content and you can see over time which one's doing better, you can take the one that did the best and use that as an advertising too, to bring in even more warm audience.
Yeah, no, Junaid, you make a very good point, but I want to actually give you an opinion. Remember, this is us just sharing. I'm going to give you an opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an opinion about boosting. I think Facebook is stealing our money. I apologize if I'm being rude to anyone.
Hey, man, I've never boosted anything, but I'm just...
I feel Facebook is literally, I mean, come on. What I've learned about content marketing is that content marketing is best when you actually create something people want. You don't have to pay for people to want something if they truly want it. Why do I have to pay these people money to boost something that's really good enough to be engaged with by itself? That is the issue. So yes, great point you've made. But I'm so sorry. Boosting for me, that we could talk about that one for a while. Okay, so let's get back into the conversation. So remember, my goal is to show you Rob and my account and how we use content as a method of getting customers. Now, let me show you something real quick. One more thing I want to share. I'm just gonna, because I love the interactivity here. I have a question for you guys. How do you get customers today? So I'm gonna draw some circles. This is one. I'm gonna draw another one, and I'm gonna just say, let's just put some stuff in here. Now, I don't know if you guys know how to use this, but actually there's a tool inside of Zoom that allows us all to kind of put our little ideas, but I don't wanna waste time with that. I just wanna have you guys tell me and I'll put stuff in here. So let's assume this is a customer who does not know who you are, excuse me, and this is somebody who has paid you money. So I'm going to put a dollar sign here, okay? Let's see if we can put some things to this thing here. What would be the very first thing you guys would put at the top of this funnel? Anybody just throw out your ideas for how you would move a customer from not knowing who you are to actually paying you money. Let's just get some ideas.
Referrals.
Referrals, okay, I'll put that, I'll just write that here. Okay, what else?
Free trainings.
Free training, okay. Content marketing, okay. What else?
Returning customers
Ooh, I like that.
or clients.
Yeah, okay. What else?
Webinars, I guess that's free training, right?
Awesome. Webinars, we can just go with that. Okay, so we have a bunch of things here that we feel are going to be kind of the top of our funnel stuff. Cool. What's the next step? What do you do? So someone comes to your referral, through a referral, free training, content marketing, webinars. Okay, what next? How do you move people to the next level here?
You get them on a call, right?
Ooh, all right, let's do
One-on-one
that.
calls.
So call. Anything else?
Sign up.
Free offer.
A free offer. Okay, so like
Get them
email.
into your marketing funnel.
Okay. Well, actually, that is what this is. So maybe I think someone said email.
Yeah.
Email list. Okay. All right. So we have some things at the next level here. Let's assume there's another level before. Let's just give it another couple levels. Would you put anything after these? What would you put after these?
A small paid training, so not the big shots immediately, but you know, like they buy a book or they buy a, what is it, $10 course.
Or they buy time with you.
Yeah, power hour.
A lower priced item.
Yeah.
Yep, a low offer. Okay.
Mhm.
And let's say this is, let's call this one the purchase. Okay. Would that be okay? All right. So
Yeah.
I see we've already put content marketing here. The best strategy to go from referrals from here to here is going to be referrals. But as we said, you don't see referrals as much as you'd want. Free training, returning clients, webinars, and so on and so forth. Let me show you why I've found content marketing to be the best strategy at the top of this funnel right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write content marketing and what you would do with that. So think about this. You write some great content and a few people start to follow you. Not connection requests. There's a difference. This is not you looking for them. They start to see you. Why? Because your content is good. So the content actually has to be good. It can't just be you boasting about yourself. It can't just be you, talking about yourself. It has to be what we call helpful content. Actually, a friend of mine calls it relentlessly helpful content. If you can get content that actually brings people to you, that's when the magic of content marketing really works. And then the next step that you need to do is you need to be able to see its results. Okay? And after you see its results, I was hoping to. You need to see its results. You need to optimize. Okay? And then once you figure out exactly what works, then you need to expand on that. Okay? So you see the results of your content marketing, you optimize, you find out what works, what doesn't work, and then you expand on what works, okay? Till you get the perfect funnel piece from content marketing, the right funnel, the right clients, everything's all tied up neatly. Then this is where you come in with your, what we call a high proximity meeting. Excuse me, my typing. A high proximity meeting. Now, what is a high proximity meeting? So right now in LinkedIn, you've got a you've got Messenger. LinkedIn messages are not high proximity meetings. They're even worse than emails, right? Email is even more intimate. A high proximity meeting in today's COVID world is Zoom, okay? Before COVID, it was maybe even a face-to-face. But you need to have that if you're selling a big ticket or high ticket course. If you're selling $75 for something, if that's your offer, it's small books and $75 things, then you don't need this step. But if you're like me and you're selling $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 engagements, you need to have a high proximity meeting with people. Okay. And the best way to get a high proximity meeting is to ask someone who already respects you, already trusts you, already likes you to that meeting. That's the key. That's the key. And you can see here with content marketing, you can achieve that much faster than all the different steps that you might have to go through with traditional methods. That's the difference. And then once you have your high proximity meeting, then it's up to you what your conversion rate is, whether or not you're going to get the purchase. It depends on your skill at closing the deal, right? So there it is. Content marketing, you got to see the results of the content marketing, because if you don't see the results, you can't optimize. And if you can't optimize, you can't get to the right thing that's working, and then you can't expand it. Does that make sense? Any thoughts or questions about this model so far?
Yeah, Pix submitted a question in the comments that.
Oh, I can't see the comments for some reason.
Yeah, she's basically saying she gets stuck on the high proximity meeting. So Pix, you want to elaborate on that?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thanks, guys. Can you hear me properly? Because I haven't got my head. Basically, yeah, I can easily get people onto a Zoom because I've got Calendly links. So I ask them to book in, and I'm getting people scheduling 3, 4, sometimes 5 meetings a day, but I'm not converting. I'm having initial conversations and then I follow up with information, but I'm not actually converting because they're probably not sure what they're buying from me. So,
actually, you know what? Let me tell you exactly what the problem is.
yeah.
There's a huge problem with intent. Okay. When you say, hey, I want to get together so we can see if we can be friends or alliance partners or something like that. You tell me about you. That's all nice and fuzzy, but it's not a sales meeting. A sales meeting, the intent of a sales meeting is, hey, you know you have a problem. I believe you have a problem. Are you interested in sitting down so I can listen to your problem to see if I can help you? That's a sales meeting. And if you don't position the intent of that meeting correctly, you're not going to get the results you want. Because then inside that meeting, you're going to be dancing from trying to be nice to trying to not sound like you're selling to trying to, it just becomes a whole dance. What you need to do is be showing up, and actually I'll tell you exactly how I do it. I have what I call 15-minute business insight meetings. I don't do a big meeting. I do a 15-minute business insight meeting, and they know, and I know, that they are coming to be questioned. He who or she who asks the questions is running the meeting. Okay? So when in my 15-minute business insight meetings, I ask a bunch of questions. When I'm just having fun meeting someone for the first time, we're just having fun. But if you're in one of my business insight meetings, I will be asking you questions and you'll be answering them so I can give you insight into how your business is running. Then from the 15-minute, you can go to the next level. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is save this. I don't know if you know this, guys, but I believe if I save this, we all have access to it. But if not, I can share this with you guys. It's been saved as a PNG.
Nice.
So I don't know if there's a Zoom expert here. I saved it. I don't know if you guys are getting it, but I'm happy to share this later. Is that okay? Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to unshare, and now let's go do the practical portion of this, which is let's look at Velocity Jam directly. Where's my... By the way, is this helpful to you guys?
Yep.
Sure.
Absolutely powerful.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Awesome. Okay, let's...
Yeah, just going over those steps, man, and just getting a visualization of what things are. Like even those first 4 circles. That's why it's always good to be able to see things. To your point, because then what you can see, you can formulate better understanding. What you understand better, the list continues. So yeah, man, appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That was just me saying yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. A little bit delayed there because I didn't know what you were talking to me about. Okay.
That's how I roll. I just do things. I
You
just
do
do
your thing,
things.
yeah. You do your stuff, yeah. No, it's all good. It's awesome. Okay, I gotta log back in here because it looks like I've been out for a while. So I'm just gonna log in and I'm gonna give you a quick overview. All right, I'm sure most of you who already are in have done the training, but just a quick overview. Quick overview is this: we are here to do three things. We're here to either do a solo jam or a group jam. What is a jam? It's what we've already been doing on LinkedIn, which is we post content and we make sure that it gets some reach because a lot of people are engaging, okay? So when in a group jam, when we come together in a group jam, the difference between what we do is that we all agree on a time to meet. See, right now, what we're doing is we're posting into the group and into the group thread that Steve, establishes. But the problem is that I might show up at 1 o'clock. Janaid might show up tomorrow. Pix might show up. Gosh, she's in Australia. I don't know when she's gonna show up.
She already showed up yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she'll show up yesterday. So the problem is we got to bring everybody together at the same time. And when you do that, that's when you get the result. So the software manages the emailing of everybody to let them know, okay, we got this thing at 11 a.m. Everybody show up, and it brings people there. That's number one difference in the way we're doing things, okay? But you can also do a solo jam if you want, where like if I go do a solo jam now, I'm gonna have, these are my solo jams. Sorry, these are my solo jams over here. I can email my solo jam to everybody in my list and let them show up. So then the other thing we want to do with our content, not all the time, but sometimes, is we want to be able to track it. So for example, if you go to my list here, you'll see that I have tracked, right, the link, the clicks that go from my post to my website where people can buy something. If I don't ever ask people to click on a link and go somewhere, what's my content marketing for? Like, is it just for fun? Okay, so the purpose of the clicking is so that people can actually go to your offer. Now we need to count that. Again, back to, you need to see your results. Because if I see that a lot of people are clicking on a certain piece of content, that's gonna tell me something about that content. I need to do more of that because that tells me that people want that, and so on and so forth. So I just want you to think about all of the things we're doing as leading up to results. Because if we don't see our results, what's the point, right? Okay, so that's the first thing you do, is you post. Then after you post things, actually there's more here because you can create groups and all kinds of stuff, but I'll just leave that. After you post things, you want to be able to take a look at your feedback from group members. So remember I said there are three things we're going to be doing. So after a post, I'm going to actually go into my actual account, if you don't mind. This is the one I use. Okay. So after every jam, okay, if you go to jams, you'll see over here, my completed jams. This is something you should do after every jam. And every time you log in, go take a look at what people are saying about your jams. You cannot get this kind of feedback on LinkedIn, guys, because on LinkedIn, people may comment, but that's not necessarily telling you how your content is doing and if you could maybe improve something about it. Remember, we're all trying to get better at content marketing, okay? So we want feedback from the people that we post with. So if you go in here, for example, you can already see these are the people who loved the content I put out. These are people who liked it. And these are people who didn't engage. On this day, this person said, I don't want to engage with you. And that's fine. But at least I know, and maybe that tells me something about that post. Does that make sense? So you want to be able to go inside. Let me go in here, for example, on this one. And you can see the post I put out, this one right here. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Pillay with the 30 days. Okay, so obviously, this is that particular one. Oh, this person couldn't. Oh, they couldn't see my message, my post. That's interesting. So this person couldn't see my video. I think this is the day that LinkedIn was going crazy. Do you guys remember that? Yep. Recently? Mm-hmm. LinkedIn, just like a bunch of things weren't working. So
it just turned off completely.
Yeah. It could have been that day. So so someone didn't engage and they said why. See, this is important because I want to know, if my content isn't nice or something or whatever. You know, I need to know what I can improve. But as you can see, people give you content, and the more feedback, and the more we give each other feedback, the more we get a sense of whether or not people like what we're putting out or not. Now, we, meaning me and Velocity Jam, it's in the training, but I have to continuously help people understand that this is a community for feedback. We're here to help each other. You know, Steve has been doing a great job of clicking on as many people's videos as he can, poor guy, to give us feedback. But Steve, you can't do that by yourself. We all need to do that. Am I wrong? Oh, okay. We didn't hear you.
You preach it, brother.
Okay, thank you. So that's the purpose of this. So that's number 2. Now let's go to number 3, which is results. And now I'm actually going to log out, and I'm going to go over to Rob's account. So I'm going to log out of my account here. Let's switch to, and I'll come back to mine in a little bit, but let's go find Rob. Rob, are you with us?
I'm always here.
Okay, my brother. I'm going to go ahead and
about 18,000 steps and counting.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. So this is Rob's account. Rob, I hope you don't mind if I log in as you. I can't help it, but I have to. Okay.
It's all good.
Okay, let's do it. So let's go in as Rob, and let's go take a look at his data. So I'm gonna go to results. So as you can see, I'm Rob. Can you guys see that here?
Yep.
Yeah, you can see that I'm Rob.
Yep.
Okay, guys, remember I have to be able to see your hand up or something so I know. There you go. Okay. First thing I want to show you is that Rob has done something very important. He has started to create a content marketing plan. Many people, about 50 or 60% of people, do not have a plan. And that's not a good prescription for success. You need to write down what your goals are and how you're going to get there so you can refer to it. So for example, Rob, this is Rob's profile picture, but Rob has added a visualization. Obviously, Rob, is that your wife? We can't hear you, Rob.
Yeah, it is.
That's my wife.
Okay.
Queen
Just so
Bee.
you know, Rob, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Gotta hug the mic.
Okay. So Rob has done a very important thing here. You guys all know, you're probably experts at this. Goal setting is huge. You got to be able to visualize. So basically, this is what's most important to Rob is his family. And he wants this thing to be here so he knows, you know, this is how it works. And right now, we're actually working on a print button. So you can print this out and you can share it with your friends or your family and talk about your marketing plan. But it's important to have a business plan and to define who your high value client is. Very important. Then you need to be able to talk about how you're going to build relationships with them. Now, all of this is in the book, by the way. Rich, you can click on over here and you'll see the book. It's going to be out in about 15 days. All of this stuff will help you to have a plan, and then you can print out your plan and share it with people. So I wanted to commend you, Rob, for actually going in and starting to do stuff with your plan. That's awesome, my friend.
Thank you. I got plans to revisit too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And another thing is you can import some of our ideas by clicking import here. You can get a bunch of ideas for every single day of the year if you run out of ideas for things to post. So all of this is there for you. Now, look at Rob's results. I'm going to go to a month. Let's see what he's been doing in a month. That's a lot of stuff you've done there. That's good. So if you look, you'll see over a month, he's done a bunch of stuff. And then down here, this is the same information, but as a table. Here you can see that he's got groups and he's done some solo jams. This is good. He's taking advantage of both solo jams and group jams. So that's why I call Rob a power user. He's not just, you know, playing around. He's trying to get something out of this. That's awesome. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you here is look at the data. You can see his reactions, his comments, and his clicks. Now, what is that? These are automatically from LinkedIn. Reactions, that's when someone says, I like it or whatever. That's cool. Then you have comments. That's when someone actually writes something on your stuff. That's cool too. But then clicks, that's even more powerful. And the way we calculate velocity, if you go over here, velocity is reactions times 1 plus comments times 2 plus clicks times 3. I'm just going to ask you guys, why are we doing that?
Because
Because
you can't
comments
measure
are
it.
worth. Oh,
Go
I was
on.
gonna say because comments are worth more, and you're kind of like rating on what, giving the value to what you feel is the most valuable.
Exactly. And we feel that clicks are worth the most. Because if someone follows my link back to my website and maybe buys something, yes. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so we're on the same page. So we can see here that from his reactions, usually it looks like Rob is getting more reactions than comments, and that is typical. Okay, that's typical. Usually you get a little bit more reactions than comments. You can see that it's the same all over the place, except for on this day, and actually also on this day. So sometimes he got more comments. So if I look at this result, I'm going to say, why did that happen? And I'm going to go down, okay, 0305. Let's see what he did on 0305. Freestyle Friday, Lean on Me. They were singing a song. So now you get to say, wait a second, people wanted to engage with me more on my Freestyle Friday. What does that tell me? So remember, this is all about using results to decide what's working and what is not working. Let's take another look at another thing that we may learn from here. Notice how on these days he's at 0 in terms of clicks. That means nobody went anywhere to his website. Nobody. Now, from a branding perspective, that's fine because you're just getting your message out. But from a business development perspective, that's terrible. Rob, you're not getting paid. It's a problem. You got to get paid. So he needs to use more clicks. That's one thing. But again, you don't have to do it all the time. But then I want to go over here and I say, but look at here. On the 23rd of February, Rob got 9 clicks on this particular thing, which actually did not get that many reactions and comments. Now, just so you guys understand this little game I'm playing, you cannot do this on LinkedIn. Can you? Okay, wait, let me just ask you. Can you imagine how you could go to LinkedIn and get all this data? Do you know what you'd have to do? You'd have to.
You gotta manually go check the stats on every single video.
Post, and you got to go back. I mean, you will be on spreadsheets for a little bit. Okay.
You'd have to own LinkedIn. You'd have to own LinkedIn because they have all that data.
Yeah. Now, just so you know, LinkedIn does not make this public for profiles, but they do give some stats for companies. So that's an interesting thing. I don't know why they've made that decision 100%, but I know that they prioritize companies for analytics. Individual profiles, they don't give you anything except you got to go look for it yourself. So that's what we're doing here, okay? So let's take a look at this particular day, 0223. What did he do here? 0223, right here. 30 days of videos, season 3.
Yeah, I went back and analyzed that. Man,
yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see, he had 9 clicks. So this tells you something. Right now, what it tells you is up for your interpretation, but that's what content marketing is all about. Now we can make a decision. Do we want to do more of this kind of thing or do we want to do less of this thing? Now, you can easily go over here and just say, okay, I want to know what's my best performing posts of all time or of the last month. That's a very important question. And to answer that, you simply click on velocity right here. When you click on velocity, it'll sort everything by velocity for the past month. And we can see here, again, Freestyle Friday has the most velocity, followed by Henry Ford, followed by Honest Abe, and the future is here. So what's happening is a lot of the stuff that Rob does in terms of his acting and kind of being fun, it's actually working. In fact, it may be working more than something else, right? And so maybe you need to keep doing that. Now, there's something Rob has not taken advantage of and that is very important. It's called engagement, okay? And that's why I'm going to go to my account to show you guys what that's all about. But before we talk about engagement, any questions so far about what we've talked about in terms of how to use content marketing to know what's working and what's not working?
Yes.
Go ahead, Yvonne.
I've got a question. I love that you need to measure the links, and I get that from, the way you explain it. But does that mean that the link needs to be in the post and not in the comments? Because it's my understanding that LinkedIn, blocks external links because they want people to stay on LinkedIn and not go away from the platform?
You are correct. That's what happens. LinkedIn used to be very strict about you putting links inside a post. And when you do that, they would sort of, the algorithm, which I can show you guys the algorithm some other day if you're interested. It's going to be in the book. The algorithm will actually push your post down a little bit and it won't go far.
Yeah.
But I've been doing a lot of tests and a few of my friends have been doing testing and that seems to be reducing. So, you know, look, let me just tell you the honest truth. Nobody really knows what that algorithm
I
is.
know. Yeah.
Okay. So, but the general rule, the safest thing to do today is to put your links in the comments area. That way nothing wrong will happen. Does that make sense?
It does, but would you still measure it? Because I put it always in the comments, but would your thingy still measure the clicks?
Yes, it is measuring the click. Do you know why? Because we give you that link.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if you go, let me go back up to the jam. Okay. You see where it says tracking?
Yeah.
When you click on when you create a jam, you will be able to immediately generate a link, and then you copy that link here, and this link is what goes into your post, not.
Oh, right. Okay.
Exactly. So it's kind of like a Bitly. Have you heard of Bitly?
Yeah, sure.
It's the same exact concept. Only instead of going to Bitly to go see your numbers, you're seeing your numbers in the same place as you're doing your content.
Great. Can I ask another question?
Uh-huh.
So you started with saying, you know, you want people to do this at the same time, which I love the principle, but since I am in the Netherlands and Pixin is in Australia and you guys are in the US and we're all over the world. Sorry, it's my dog, by the way. How does that work?
Okay, and thank you for that question. By the way, Yvonne, who else did you say is in, who else is somewhere else, if I may ask?
Where is else?
Well,
I'm in the Netherlands, so I'm you know.
I apologize. That was a terrible thing to say. But who else is outside the US?
I am, but I think I'm at the same time zone as Yvonne, though I'm north. I'm in Sweden, so I think it's.
I see. Okay. See, here is what I am hoping for. Part of the reason why you guys have free accounts, okay, if I may just share with you right now, total disclosure, is I want you guys to go get other people and make those people pay so that you can get 50%. I have a 50% affiliate program, very aggressive. When they pay and they are in your time zone, then we will be able to build up your groups. Right now, the only way to get you guys to be able to have a slot in our calendar is if there are enough people. The algorithm looks for a minimum of 15 people. Okay, and so if you notice in our groups, we have anywhere from 10 people to 15 people or something per. We don't give you more than 14 or 15 people each jam. So what I would love for you guys to do, if you like this system and start using it, is start actively join our affiliate program and start actively sharing this with your friends so more people in your time zone can join us. Is that a fair proposal to you guys?
Yeah.
Totally.
Great one.
And the other time zones, for sure.
Well, yeah, but definitely everybody here is supposed to be an ambassador of the system because we need people to join us so that we can all get more engagement. That's all. Okay.
I have a question if I can ask. So
Yes,
the
please.
link that you put in to your website or whatever you're putting the link to,
Mhm.
is it better to have it to a page? So if you have your company page and from the page then have would that be better? I mean, obviously for the algorithms in LinkedIn, if you have it.
No, that doesn't matter. Your link can go anywhere on the internet as long as you don't put that link inside the post. As long as you put it in the comments area. In fact, I'll just show you an example. So if you take,
I know that, but I thought maybe if you put it into the post and then into your page, but then you couldn't track it here maybe.
I don't understand what you mean by put it into the
So
post.
within LinkedIn, if you post within LinkedIn, I mean, they obviously like that. So then you can put it in your post. in your text instead of
Oh,
putting
you mean
it in
you
the
mean
comment.
if you're posting within LinkedIn, you can put
Yes.
it in the post?
Yeah.
Oh,
in the
I see.
text.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yes, yes, you can do that. In
Oh
fact,
yeah, you can. You can. I do that. And
yeah,
again,
LinkedIn will give you a
like links
short.
to past previous posts you might have put up or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
into your company page if you have a
Or
page
oh yeah,
on
or
your
company page. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can do that. The problem they have is when you start sending people off the network.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to kind of give you a sense of all that. And as you can see, results are how you know where you're going. Like if you're driving a car and you have blindfolds on, you're going to have an accident. Okay. That's the same thing as not seeing your results along the way. And so most people start with doing stuff like this, but they don't realize the power of being able to go in and say, hey, wait a second, what's working and what's not working? The last thing I was going to show you guys, I'm going to go back out to my account here, just to give you an example of it, is this is called engagement. Now, engagement is actually what most people in the industry are tracking. Okay, so now we're inside my account. We track engagement. I'm just going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to go for, yeah, Junaid, go ahead.
Oh, I gotta jump off, but I'll catch up on the recording. Thank you so much. This is so awesome.
Okay, thank you so much, Junaid. Take care.
Thanks, Nate.
All right. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of things. So to see your views, to show views for this post, add the latest views count. So this is something I do once a week or once a month. I just click on add. This link will take me to that particular post on LinkedIn. Okay. I'll take a look at the views. This says 346. Now you might ask, well, why don't we just do this automatically? For two reasons. It changes all the time. Okay. This number changes all the time because, you know, whatever. And the other reason is that it's not made public by LinkedIn. We only go after publicly made available data. Why? Because we do not want to violate any of LinkedIn's rules. Okay, so that's why you notice we're not logging in as you. We're not doing any Chrome plugins. None of that. All above the board, white hat, no negative stuff done here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and click that, and it gives me an engagement. I'm just going to do this for a couple of them, just so you see. And this practice helps me, 347 on this one. This practice helps me kind of stay on top of my data. By the way, what I'm doing right now is exactly what any company that has a content marketing strategy would do. They have people who focus on the analytics, 245. Okay, and it's important that you watch your analytics daily, weekly, or monthly. It's up to you. So I'm just gonna do a couple more of these. I don't even know what the results are from some of these 176. And another thing is that if you're doing this too soon, then you won't have the accurate information. You need to give it some time to know, so people can kind of accrue on that data. Let me just do the ones I see here. Give me a second here. Just gonna do these. 242. Okay, let's just stop.
Can I, in the meantime, ask what are you checking on Bruno Mars and on CNN?
What am I? Oh, Bruno. Let's see here. Bruno Mars is gonna be performing at the Grammys. I'm a big music guy, so this is, you know, I was doing my thing. I gotta get my research done. You know what I mean? Thank you for that little bit of fun. I love that. Okay, want high value clients. Let me just do a couple more. This is that's actually from today, 165. That's pretty good.
I have a quick question. Is this just for when you're posting videos, or is it for any content that you're posting?
Is this just for when you? No, it's for any content.
Okay.
I just happen to have a bunch of videos because we're doing this challenge.
Right. Yeah. That's why all of a sudden I just wasn't sure. I'm like, wait, is this just for videos? Because we're all posting videos right now, but I won't be posting videos every day all the time.
Oh, no.
So,
This is just your content.
okay, nice.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do one last one here because oops.
I have a quick question. If I can jump in really quick. You mentioned the solo jam and posting the solo jam and then doing something else after you've posted it. Like, I think you said email people to let them know that you've posted it. Is that any people or just the people who are already in Velocity Jam? And does that happen right through the system? I'm not looking at it right now, but I've posted a couple of solo jams thinking I was cool. Like, ooh, I'm going to post this jam. And then I did it and I didn't do anything after that. Obviously there's a big step I'm missing. So what's that step?
No, good question. The solo jam is just you by yourself. And the email, when you click on that email, it actually opens up your email client on your computer. And then it's up to you who you want to send that to.
Got
So
it.
you may have
Okay.
a group of friends, maybe 10 friends, who all agree that you guys will support each other as needed. So you just send it to those 10 people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then you ask them, the email will be worded in such a way that it says, hey, if you like this, only if you like this, would you please support, go and engage with it in the next 2 hours. That way you still get that initial bounce that we're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So hence solo jam.
Yeah,
It's like I'm asking them to do it during a period of time, but it could just be me. So it could be just solo.
That's why, yep, that's why it's called
Got it.
jam. But there's,
Okay, cool.
there's something that we have built called groups, where if you guys create a group called Leadership Development Folks, then only you guys will be in that group. And when you do a solo jam, you can send to the group inside the software and it'll email everybody in your group. Because by joining a group, you've agreed to support each other, just like we do today, right now, right?
Got it. Very
like
cool.
we're
Thank
doing
you.
on this video thing. Again, this is a problem. It's like if Steve posts something at 5 a.m., you know, Yvonne and Helene are gonna see it like yesterday or something. You know, it's like doesn't make sense. So by just being able to send it to the group, those people that have agreed to be in that group will all get that email. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you this real quick. So because I've gone in and entered my views for the last month, I can actually take a look at what's known as engagement. And engagement is the standard measure on social media of whether or not content is kind of, are people engaging with your content or not? Because it judges your number of views versus the number of reactions and comments. And so in our system, we do engagement as engagement equals velocity over views. Because remember, velocity is the addition of reactions, comments, plus our clicks. So our algorithm, in my opinion, is actually more powerful than the industry because we're including clicks in the velocity calculation. Bottom line is, I can see here that this one, want high value clients, even though this is a post I put out just yesterday, right? It doesn't matter how many people have viewed it. Only 165 have viewed it because I just put it out yesterday. But you can already see this has a really good engagement. People like that topic, right? I can see that my most powerful topic is this one right here. How to get the best audio for your online videos. 7 tips for non-techies. I got 67% engagement for that. And so can you see how after a while you can actually start to say, you know what? I kind of know what I got to be doing here. Because I can see it. But if you can't see it, you might just keep on posting and get frustrated and not get any results. Okay, so I share all this with you because I want to remind you that I'm going to go back to our little diagram here. I want to remind you that when we create content, the purpose of that content is not just to get the branding out there and whatever. It's so that we can see the results, optimize it, and then once we decide what works, we expand on it. And the more of what works is being put out into the world, the more people are going to be accepting your request for a high proximity meeting. How does that happen? Very simple. You engage with people, they engage with you. When you see a nice warm behavior between you and someone else, you go to their you go to their DM or what is it? A direct message, and you say, hey, we've been having some really good interactions on our content. Do you think it would make sense for us to get together for a conversation? They come in, they say, yeah, let's talk. And then you say, well, awesome. I have a 15-minute blah, 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 where I can give you some business insights. Since you like my content, would you like to come to the 15-minute Zoom for that? Boom. You get your yes. Now, look, remember, it's a funnel. You could send out 50 of these and get 20. It's a funnel, but it's going to be a much better performing funnel than if you go around connecting with people who you don't know and asking them for digital Zoom meetings. It doesn't work. Engagement builds trust and liking, and that's when you can get more high proximity meetings. Then from there on, it's just a question of do the math. If you're good at closing, you'll get more purchases for your product. And I will stop there. Any questions?
Final questions. Pick, go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Pillay, thank you for that. That was wonderful. Yeah, it's always great to hear. I've got a number of different products and programs. So I have a number of different ideal clients. How do I best convert, like with content?
Okay, so Pix, I'm sure you know that's a huge question, but I'm gonna try to give you a quick answer. The answer is you've got to compartmentalize. You may have different products, but you can put them under a story, an umbrella. Steve is our story guy. You can tell a story that makes them sound like they're all part of one thing. And now
good.
that's, I'm sorry?
I said, that's good. That's all.
Yeah, you're going to have to
Like-
figure out what that story is. And there's some work to do. That's why I said this is a big question. But you got to put it under one umbrella, not two, not three, one. Okay, look, believe it or not, look, it's not easy, but believe it or not, my umbrella is called Profitable Happiness. You guys might not hear me saying that as much, but if you look at my content over time, you'll start to see this guy's always trying to be happy, and he's talking about his childhood in Africa when he nearly died and he made it. And that's my umbrella. I'm looking for people who want to do what they love and use that to create profit in their lives. And you will learn that about me over time as I tell my story. So find that thing for you that is your story. Put everything else as a sub story of that bigger story. That's your umbrella. And then your content marketing will fit. If you go around doing one thing here, oh, this is for child abuse or no, sex. Is this sex abuse you talked about? Sex abuse?
Well, it's mainly living your best life because, yeah, health and wellness inside and out. And everything comes mental health, you know, so adult surviving.
Stay higher.
Suicide.
Exactly. Go higher, get your umbrella, and then be the person for that umbrella. Let everyone know that you are the person for that umbrella. Because if you go down too low and you're throwing out this and throwing out that, you might get lost in the weeds. But anyone else want to jump in?
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, other thoughts?
Steve thinks I should dance now.
Yeah.
Dance, how so?
I told him, okay, if you sing, I'll dance. It's late here, so I'm trying. I really enjoy it, but I can't stop.
He's yawning. Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
he's telling me,
Notice
stop it. I'm like, how?
You and Yvonne are both disadvantaged for time. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
If you're yawning,
Time doesn't really matter. It's how we spend our time. And this is great.
Hey, is that Dr. Doreen?
Yes, hi.
You've been with us all this time?
Not quite, just near the end. And I picked up another tip just as the end about the results and how to then go put in the people who look at it. So
Okay.
I just wanted to tell the group, it's really fabulous. It's been fun. On Tuesday mornings is when I join in, and I love, it's another way like what we're doing to meet each other, get to know each other, and support each other. In fact, somebody on the first Velocity Jam said, hey, let's interview each other. And out of that, I developed my Find Your Voice, Change Your Life podcast series. He's my first guy. And I've got 2 people already signed up. And Michelle, maybe you'll be one of my guests. And so I just think that the connecting that's going on with something like our group at Velocity Jam also is just fabulous. And you only get 15 people. You have to, for 2 hours, to go comment, share, like.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, Doreen. And I want to really thank you because actually you missed this part when we talked about, and actually you'll get the replay of this, right? Everybody will get the replay. Is that right? Okay.
It'll be available.
So we talked about, Doreen, we talked about the idea of giving each other feedback as such an important thing. You know, we're building a community here. We're not just all here to take. We're here to give too. So to your point, that's what we're doing. We're working together to get better. So thank you for that. All right. Any other thoughts?
You can also, if you've got a huge community, get an affiliate link. It's my first affiliate.
Exactly.
Ever.
Absolutely, yeah. So, okay, I mentioned this earlier. We're also here to get people who are paying. You guys aren't paying me any money, and so this is all good. But if you get an affiliate, then we both share. You get 50% of that $47 a month, as I do. And we already have affiliates that are sending in people. It's an opportunity for all of us to make a couple of dollars. You know, it's called mailbox money. You don't have to do anything; it just shows up in the mailbox.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And you could track how many people have looked, how many have converted. I have right now just 3 people who have looked, but I'm out there.
There
I
you
love
go.
that.
You started.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, one of the biggest things for me about this platform, Velocity Jam, you know, everybody was wondering, how am I going to engage with all these people? Like, everyone's trying to figure out, like, how's this going to happen? How am I going to? And it's a real thing. And when you segment it this way, and you make a group, got a time slot, that's it.
That's it.
You don't have to think about it. You just do you, and then you show up. Do you and show up instead of trying to figure out, and you save the energy. When you wake up, you only have so much energy in the day. Your battery's drained with every activity.
Exactly.
So you want to spend the least amount of activity as you can executing, and you get that from the preparation. This is great. This is great.
You know what, Rob? I want to say something to support what you just said, because you and I, we are in, aren't we in Mary's pod, right?
We are. Yep.
You got Mary's pod. You got I'm in another one. You're in a couple others. I mean, man, it's too much. It really is too much. And
Yes.
the problem with a lot of these pods is that there's so many people in them. How many people am I going to engage with? I mean, you could be engaging all day. You could literally spend your whole day, every day, engaging to try to be good with these pods. So
Yeah.
that's why what we're doing is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and when the guys in Sweden and Australia come on board, maybe we'll add another couple of days or a couple of time slots that's good for them. Tuesdays.
But it's 11 a.m. your time, yeah?
I'm sorry?
It was 11 a.m.
Yeah, 11 a.m. Central right now. But as I said,
Central.
you guys get enough people on board, we'll give you your own time slot. That's the only problem we have right now.
Yes, but for Europe, it's the best time for me to post is either 9-10 in the morning or 3-4. So that's almost like what you have your time there.
Oh, okay. Then maybe we're good. So I just want to say that just having a time slot and showing up at the same time versus whenever I show up on LinkedIn, I got to go find people to engage with. Man, it's hard work saying done, 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 done. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the easy
That's good.
way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Say done.
And
look,
I guess
want-
you can track on Velocity Jam what times your posts are doing best.
Yes, you can. Well, actually, it's something that we could, but right now we're just tracking by day. But that time slot is there. I mean, that the timestamp is there. I just have to turn it on if that's an important thing for you. If that's important for you, we can.
So cool, man.
we
It's
can
so
figure
cool.
it out.
That
Right
would be
now.
cool.
Right now, it's just by day. What'd you say?
Yeah, having the
Who,
time.
me or Steve?
Yeah, yeah. So I think
Yes,
in
sir.
closing, if I could just say one thing to you guys, I don't know how many of us are still here, but I want to say this before we all leave. I am seeking partners. That's my active role here is to look for people who will help us get more people of quality people. You know, that this is a platform that relies on us all being experts, us all being willing to share and give feedback. I mean, we need good people, and I can't find good people by myself. So I want you guys to please enroll in the affiliate program and go out and get as many people as you can to come join us and be paying customers, obviously. I mean, at some point we got to do, I can't do this forever. But if you guys can be part of that evangelism process of telling people to come join us, that'd be great. So we can have more people to be part of our stuff. That helps everyone. It helps us.
Yeah, it does. Dr. Pillay, can you put the link in here for folks to grab?
Yeah, I can do that right now. Hold on.
Okay. That'd be good.
Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
Okay,
show
cool.
you guys where it is. So for those of you who are in Velocity Jam already, if you go to your user profile and go to help, you will see affiliates right there. You see that? That's the link. You simply click on that and then you go sign up. Then after you sign up, you can always log in by going to the same page and clicking log in. So I'm going to go ahead and take this URL here and then I'm going to give it to you guys in the chat. Hold on. Oops. So everybody see that URL that I just put? Ooh, it looks like I did a direct message. Sorry. I'm going to do to everyone. Okay. Everybody see that link that I just posted?
Yep.
So go ahead, click on that and save that page on your browser so that you can register, and then you can always go back to that page and you can see all your stats. You can see how many people, just as Dr. Doreen was saying, she can see how many people have clicked her link to go sign up, and she can see how much money she's making and stuff like that. And it's recurring income. I mean, who doesn't want some recurring income?
That's good. That's good. And Dr. Pillay, we we're going to be doing these sessions Tuesdays, was it 11, and Thursdays at 4, which is Eastern Standard. Same time it was this week and last week. So we can go even a little deeper, to help people really utilize the tools. I think each week we're teaching on the subject, we're sharing on the subject of technology, how to better use it, how to be best effective with our content, whether that's content marketing, strategizing, storytelling. Everything is to feed. So anyway, I'm saying that to say, mark your calendars to be on these Zooms if you can, for 11 o'clock on Tuesday or 4 o'clock is the Eastern Standard. It's so crazy. It should be something that when you say a time, it just says the times with everyone else said other times, just kind of slide out. Because one time is never the time for anyone.
Yeah.
So much.
When you're dealing
But
with the world.
yeah. But 11 o'clock on Tuesdays and 4 o'clock on Thursdays, we're going to keep sharing. And my goal, big goal, is when this is over, 30 days, to continue to some extent, with these type of sessions that bring value.
You know what? Can I just let me throw something out there? Rob, 11 a.m. on Tuesdays is exactly the time of the jams.
All right, that can't be the time then. It must be 10.
Dr. Pele, that's 11 Eastern.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
So it's actually 10 o'clock Central. Okay, got it.
Thank you. See what I mean? See?
All right.
I have to help Rob left and right.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, good, man. So thank you for that. And ladies,